right-hand corner. He's going to be the Zerg player representing Samsung Galaxy on a little bit of a losing streak in Pro League, but I'm sure he's not going to let that get to him, especially not in just an online tournament like this. He is Solar, and let's see what's going to happen here.
And spawning over in the left hand corner, playing as the light blue Protoss. It is the one and only player. He's down 1-0 so far. Can he come back? It's GraVe. So I'm waiting to see if we're going to see the gateway expansion coming out of GraVe yet again. We did see last game that proxy hatch went down, and that was actually really interesting because that delayed his natural for a decent amount of time. So I'm wondering, will he have this in the back of his head while doing this play? But we do see the pylon is on the low ground, so this does indicate that he will be going for a Nexus first to forge fast expand, or maybe Walnut for gateway there. But it is going to be a forge being put down, and it looks like we may see a hatchery first. Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be a hatchery first.
So I mean, this Forge first is actually interesting because, usually if you just want to expand, and he's actually sending out a second probe, I actually almost think this is 100% going to be a cannon rush, because to go Forge before Nexus, as weird as it is, but then to send out a second probe to scout, then you just know that something is, he's trying to get away with something here, and that something is going to be a cannon rush. I'm almost definite of it, and he comes in, he spots this base, and now he knows exactly where his opponent is. Well, Solar actually spots this immediately, but what's he going to be able to do to stop it? I mean, GraVe will have a second probe on the way here in a moment. 3 pylons down.
Yeah, he definitely is going to be aggressive here, and I think this is maybe just the stir Solar. I don't know if this is actually just to go completely with it. There is 3 pylons down. He may want to cancel 1 or 2 of these. This probe may be caught
I
here.
think so.
Oh, he does get the cannon down though in a nice position, so he may be able to do that, but it's around. Was taking on only 2 drones attacking at the moment. He needs to move them over. More cannons being placed down.
I really feel like if Solar just pulled a couple more drones, he could easily kill that first cannon and the second cannon too, because there's just so much surface area. But then again, I mean, he's not sure about it. He doesn't know how sneaky GraVe's going to be with the probes as well, and it's a very close call. Maybe there just isn't enough surface area. So these cannons, they are going to go up. Solar immediately takes the base at his 3rd location. And does he cancel this natural? No, he doesn't. Wow, he lets that live, which I find interesting because it's almost 100% going to die here. I don't think there's going to be any way he can save this. So this is an interesting start to the game. But how far behind really is Solar? Because, I mean, he's a drone up right now. And GraVe's Nexus is only just starting. So I think the real advantage GraVe is going to get out of this is that Solar is going to be... He's either going to be on 2 bases or he's going to be on 3 bases. He's going to be on 3 bases, so he moves his drone over. He's going to be on 3 bases, and they're going to be very far apart. So you can definitely try and maybe abuse the mobility of that, maybe get a Void Ray out quickly or just a 4-gate to kind of attack in one of these locations very quickly and try and get some damage done.
Yeah, we do see it was actually 600 minerals for that cannon rush to go down, and it was only 300 minerals for that hatchery to die. So GraVe was at a 300 mineral disadvantage there, and his natural went down a little bit later than it actually should have. But we do see that gateway finally coming down for him now, and I think this might stabilize in depending on how aggressive GraVe might want to be here. He does see this free hatch, so it's going to be interesting to see what way he reacts to this.
Yeah, I mean, getting the scout is completely great for him because once you scout, that's half the battle. Now you can actually, he hasn't seen that 3rd base just yet, but he is moving around with pro, so he will spot this. And I mean, that's half the battle. Now he can choose, how do I want to respond to this? Do I want to, attack you, or do I want to just macro it myself and take my own fast 3rd base? So GraVe is going to have to respond to this. Oh my god!
Oh, what the hell? Oh, okay. Sorry.
That was my fault. So, god damn it. I need to disable that button or something. But yeah, GraVe spots this, and we'll see what he wants to do about it. I mean, his Cybernetic core is only just on the way up, so it's going to be a very late warp gate timing if he wants to be aggressive. That will.
Yeah, it's going to be around 8 minutes, and by that time, the Zerg player should be more or less droned up on freebase saturation. It looks like he will do that from that forge faster spawn. That is just completely standard right now. We don't see an additional attack rate right now. We'll probably see a Stargate being thrown down here. We're going to have to wait and see what is actually going to happen. I've actually got a feeling right now that GraVe is going to go for an all-in. I don't think he wants to macro this game.
That probe actually kills off his Zergling before getting out of here.
What?
That hero probe. As Solar's droning up quite heavily. He's getting this 3 base saturation going. Did Proby die?
Yeah, he died back wing.
Oh, Proby. He was the hero probe, man. He was meant to be the one.
Okay. So, Ward, I've got a question for you. What's better?
Okay.
Zerglings attacking rocks or a probe killing a Zergling?
Zergling's attacking rocks, man.
Oh, come on, dude.
Because what's exciting about? I mean, the probe killing Zergling is cool, but it's just a little bit of a zap. Like Zergling's attacking rocks. It's so fun to watch. They nibble away at it. Oh man. You know, you need to really stop being so amazed by my obsession with the Zerglings attacking rocks. Like, I just think it looks cool.
Yeah, it's just amazing of what actually goes on in your head, and I would not like to be in your head for an hour. But we do see the Stargate being down, and we're going to see Phoenix yet again. And it looks like GraVe is going to take an early for our base after this, so this is actually quite nice for him. We do see a pylon on the right hand corner of his base, so we will actually be able to warp in at his third door and get a cannon up nice and early by the looks of it. So that is actually a really nice play by him. But we do see gases going down right now for his third player, and the evolution chamber and roach warren starting, and speed as well, and more drones being produced. So really our third player's economy is just getting in such a nice position right now, and I'm actually kind of afraid for GraVe right now because that lure is nearly done. Hydralisk will start being produced, I would probably say, and from that point, what can GraVe do?
I don't know what he can do. You know, right now, Solar doesn't know about the Stargate. But it doesn't really matter because he's just droned up as greedily as he would have if he was playing Stargate. I mean, yes, he doesn't have any spores down, but that's kind of like the only negative right now. Now he finds out about the Stargate. Well, there's one queen here, which, I mean, there's only 2 phoenixes, so it's going to be hard for these phoenixes to kill it. But if they want to, they can. The spore caller's not going to be up in time, and they can move out of the way as well. So he's going to get a queen here in straight away, and this is nice. But you can see the spore caller's now coming down. This is going to be the maximum damage that is really done by this Stargate. Apart from the expected, you know, pick off a few drones here, pick off a few drones there, so...
Wardy, there's actually an open right now for a Protoss player. That cannons and pylons are still there. He could have warp in and go up to the main base and be aggressive, and also be aggressive to the third base.
I'd love to see something like that, you know, using them pylons he's already got up, and the thing is, he's going into a robotics facility here, he's only on... Well, he's on 4 gateways. Oh,
Starlink get in!
Wow, that was, This was kind of close, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be okay because he got that force field down. So, not as much damage as we may have thought. Although GraVe isn't back to mine just yet, so he's taking kind of some indirect damage from this. Finally, getting all set back up here. So, yeah, I would have loved it if he would maybe try and abuse these pylons a little bit more and do something with them. But it looks right now he wants to go into a macro game, Immortal and Void Ray, which suggests he's just trying to build up some tech units to take a third base with. But again, it looks as though he's going to take his third base very late, if that is what he's doing.
Yeah, I definitely don't like this time, and this third base, if he wants the macro, would have to go down a little bit later. And plus, the Zerd's economy is just out of control right now. And from this point in time, the Zerd is just going to be pumping out units and taking a nice third base for himself. Definitely going to be getting Hydralisk out as well. So really, the Protoss player could be a little bit screwed right now. He needs to get that third base down as soon as possible if he wants to stand the chance.
But I mean, he can barely break out of his natural here. I mean, Solar's putting on so much aggression, picks off the gateway at the front, and I mean, GraVe will break out now, and he will move over to take this third base. Some roaches are going to chase down this probe, but it's going to go down here. GraVe, well, he couldn't have got the Nexus down because there's actually a Zergling bird in position to block it, so... I mean, Solar's just playing so well right here. You know, he's putting on the aggression, he's taking advantage of the advantages he has, and now, I mean, he's pulling back to his base, and it's, you know, he knows the Protoss player wants to take a third, so he's probably going to clean out these cannons and take a fourth base for himself.
I really like this option. Instead of going for Hydralisk, he's actually going to stay on Roach Tack, because it actually is quite strong against the current composition right now. And he's going to go for Spire, so he's going to get Corruptors out, which is actually a little bit more stronger as long as the Void Red count isn't at a high count. It's only at 2 so far, so really I think Solar's just going to walk over GraVe right now.
Yeah, I mean, what is there really to defend for GraVe? He's got very few force field on his sentries. I mean, again, 2 Voiders are unanswered for, but it's not that much. He's doing a bit of damage with his Phoenixes over at that third base, but deflected by these 2 Void Rays and just having to move back right now. So Corruptors are coming in once again here for Solar, and again, I think he's going to just look to do a similar strategy to the last game, minus the Hydralisks, and you know, 9 Corruptors, they're going to be able to take out these 2 Void Rays no problem. And, I mean, Colossi are going to start coming out here very soon for GraVe, but not before the Corruptors out. So, I mean, this is just a complete counter already by Solar.
Yeah, and that third base is only actually getting started now. It's so late coming to the 13-minute mark. Really, what is GraVe thinking? He could have been a little bit more greedy, seeing how the Zerd player went for such a greedy build order. These Corruptors are right now, and these Phoenix are just going to get pulverized bad. And I don't really see much that GraVe can do right now. There's a lot of lanes. The Zealots are actually in the middle of the army, but he is going to move them forward right now. He's going to go first in but with the Corruptors by the looks of it. He really needs to get a nice concave set up here. There is a lot of units being warped in, but then Corruptors are just going to work. Force fields do go down, but they're not the best force fields in the world. Still, roaches are getting through here. These Corruptors look like they're going to be able to take this down.
I don't think I like this fight from Solar. I think he's lost a lot here, a lot more than he really needed to, and I mean, he's going to back off, and, you know, GraVe, he kept his Void Rays alive, he kept his Immortal alive, he killed off a fair few Corruptors, and now he's going to go into Colossi. I think this was a mistake by Solar. I think he overcommitted. I don't think he really actually had enough to fight. I mean, the problem is the Roaches, they're such low-tech units that they don't really do that much at this stage of the game, and, well, this is what Solar was planned for. He's going to go into a Mutalistic tech switch after killing off the few Phoenixes that were out. There's still a couple of Phoenixes remaining, but, I mean, 8 Mutalisks on the way isn't really a scary number. He's going to have to build up a lot more than that if he wants to get to the scary amounts, especially if you consider that, hey, there's already, 16 Stalkers out, 18, 2 Voids, a couple of Phoenixes, and a Mothership Core with Floating Overcharge. So we'll see what happens. And he actually spots the Mutas right away here with these Phoenixes. Kills off one for one Phoenix. It's a nice start to what should be, hopefully, a solid defense from GraVe.
Yeah, I don't like the position right now for Solar. This Mutalist tag switch, I think it's completely wrong right now for what he's doing. I think he should maybe make some more Corruptors, get Hedgerless out, or maybe Vapors, one or the other. And because then classes are being produced and there's such a heavy blink or Stalker count, I think he should go for maybe Swarm Host. I think that'd be actually quite strong. But the crease rate we see isn't that good. But these Corruptors and Mutalists are going to attack in the main base of GraVe right now. He is going to try and focus down the Void Ray first of all, and then there's like, yes, the second Void Ray will go down here. Also, these Stalkers are just doing a lot of damage to these Mutas, and he's just fighting on top, but he cannot do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has this overwhelming number of Mutalisks that he seems to think he does. He couldn't really take that fight there. Still a lot of Lings backing off from the third base because the army was there. You know, GraVe has done a good job of not overcommitting a defense to this main. At this point, though, I think he maybe needs a couple more units there to help defend. He is remaking Phoenixes, but with 9 Mutalisks coming out over time, you know, 1 Phoenix at a time isn't going to help that much. But, you know, at this point, Solar's still unable to really find a point to damage. If full overcharge at the third, I'm not sure if that's necessary. Relentless and Roaches are going to get turned away again. Mutas will jump in again into the main. We don't actually see Blink research just yet. We don't have a Twilight Council on the map, so this is something which is hurting GraVe. Imagine he had Blink to play with. It would help out so much in this defense.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The Mutal count is rising right now, and it's just mass Stalker more or less against Mutalist. If this Mutalist count gets high enough, these Stalkers are going to be in for some serious trouble. A counter-attack at the far base anyway, and some probes are going down, but it is going to be killed out with that Photon Overcharge helping a decent amount with them Immortals. The DPS is just insane. We are seeing more Mutalists being produced, 11 more.
Solar's just trading off these Roaches because they're useless to him right now. They're low-tech units, he doesn't have a need for them. And he wants to make more Mutalisks. He's actually going to once again come in and fight the Stalkers in the main, but he's losing a lot of Mutas while doing this. And, you know, eventually he's going to clean this up. I don't know how effective of a trade it's going to have been. Again, if GraVe just had Blink, these fights would be so much easier for him. These Mutas are going to start raining Supreme in the main base, but weapons of Stalkers will keep on trading here. And I mean, a lot of Mutalisks are going down. In fact, throughout this entire game, we've seen 16 Mutalisks die, which is a lot more. Well, we've actually seen the same number of Stalkers die as we have Mutalisks, and that's definitely not how Solar would have been expecting this to go.
No, that's definitely true, but more Stalkers are going to come in reinforced to slow scare these Mutalists off. But they are still doing a lot of damage right now to the main base, killing a lot of probes.
I think the problem for GraVe is that he just didn't take his third base fast enough, and because of that, he's really fallen behind the kind of full base Solar right now, even though he's been trading really, really effectively. And I mean, he's down at 100 supply. Imagine he had his third base just up a minute or so early. He's actually losing a lot of probes over at his third base right now to a little bit of a run by. And this is really bad for him. The Mutas are going to snipe a Colossus.